Hey everybody, welcome back to Mal's Board Game Room. So today I'm joined with my friend Matt, who's local to Edmonton, and we're going to do a top 9 list. So Matt is a reviewer for Exit Rooms and Exit Games.
Yeah.
And one thing I'm super jealous about Matt is at his work, he hosts games on your lunch break every day.
Yeah, well, not every day, but a few times a week, yeah.
It looks like it's every day. Now, I work from home. So even if I try to set something up, there's nobody else there but me. So I don't get to partake. And nobody's like, oh, do you want to do a top 9 this weekend? It's like, hey, what should we do it about? I was like, oh, let's do lunch break games. So then you can put a list of what kind of works well for you. And I can put a list of what I wish I could play. So tell us about, how did that start?
So I jumped in, I guess, in the middle of the group. So I guess shout out to Chris and Trent if they're listening to the podcast right now. But they're the ones, I think, who are kind of leading it right now. And it's every Tuesday and Thursday we do board games. And then actually Friday we do escape room games.
Right.
But since we're doing board games, it's Tuesday, Thursday. But we all have a bunch of games that we brought to work. And then from there, we have one of those randomizer wheels. And then Trent is the one who organizes it and just randomizes 5 games from the wheel. And then he puts it out in a poll right before in that morning. And then everybody can vote on whichever games they want to play.
Oh, fun.
But it's also kind of cool because if you have a new game, he's pretty good at I got a new game. Can I throw it into the wheel this week? Or even if it's a game you really want to play,
right.
People will just throw it out and it's hey, I got this new game. If everybody's up for trying it, let's just give it a try this lunch hour. So,
because how many people from your work joins?
There's a lot of people in the group, but on an average lunch hour, we get about 4 to 6.
Right.
But we have had up to 9 to 10 people show up
right.
For ones before.
So if it's 9 to 10, do you guys split into 2 groups?
It goes either way. So actually, as you go through our top 9, actually the number 1 actually hosts a lot of people. But
nice.
We do have some where it's okay, we either split up into 2 groups for 2 different games, or we try to find a large kind of player count that we're able to do everybody at the same time and get a large game going at one time. Yeah.
Now, earlier this year, I crashed the group. I was like, can I come to these lunch games? So it was in Edmonton. I think I came on Friday.
Yeah.
So I got to hang out when you guys were playing one of those exit games.
Yeah.
Because exit game can go long.
Yeah.
And you guys just kind of broke it up in sections.
So some of them we do, yeah. Those ones, yes, they could go for a few hours, but some of them we know. One of the ones we play a lot are the Deadbolt Mystery Society games. And we've kind of gotten it down to a science that we're okay, it'll take us 2 lunch hours to play through this, so we know how to do it. And then there's a few we're let's just see how it goes. And if we have to, take it over a few lunch hours, yeah, sure, that's fine.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so today we're doing, as I mentioned, the top 9 games. So let me bring up the presentation. So we have that ready here. So I'm just gonna have it ready. So top 9 games that you could play for the lunch break, and then we can kind of, as they come up, kind of why we're putting it on the list, why we think it would be good to play over the lunch break, or why it works well for those of us who can play over the lunch break, and we're actually going to start with you with your number 9.
Oh, okay. Right on. All right. Let me pull through my notes. So my number 9 is actually Flip 7. So it's a fairly newer game, but it's a push your luck card game. The goal of the game is to be the first person to score 200 points. So the deck consists of 94 cards. So like there's going to be 12 12s, 11 11s, 10 10s, etc., etc., etc. And then you try to collect 7 unique cards without getting a duplicate there. So almost like in a blackjack style game, when it goes around the circle, and then you could either say, yeah, give me another card, or I'll stop.
Yeah.
But if you grab another card and say you get a 12, and the next time around, you know, yeah, I'll do it again. If you get another 12, then you bust and you're out that round.
Yeah.
But you're trying to get a bunch of different cards to lock yourself in. And then once you come around, it's like if you don't want to grab another card, then you just stop and you collect the points that you have in front of you. But there are also some other action cards that kind of shake things up. So there's ones that actually can like double the value that you have with you. Or it just gives you 8 bonus points that don't count in that actual number set. Or there's even ones that like, yeah, the second chance that gives you a second chance if you boost or if you bust.
Yeah.
And then
get to go one more time, right?
Yeah.
You can't, if you do the second chance, can you do the second chance and like, never mind, I stopped? You have to take a card, right?
You do have to,
Right.
yeah. Actually, that's a good question.
I don't remember.
Actually.
Yeah. Okay, so check your rule book.
Yeah, check your rule book for that one. But there's also the good freeze card as well, so you can force somebody to stop playing at that time. And so it's like, oh, you're doing pretty well. I'm going to freeze you there. Yeah. And then you go first person to 200 points, and they win. So I'll be honest with this one, though. Like, I'm not a huge fan of like push your luck games, so I was very resistant about playing this the first few times we played it. But this is a great lunchtime game because it actually holds, I think, up to 6 people you can play this with.
Like on the box there, it says 3+ players.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you're limited. I'm assuming you would be limited.
Yeah,
to
that's a good point.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's like, yeah, like it's a very simple game. Not too much strategy to it. It's just like, yes, do I hit? Do I not? And like after a few rounds, anybody who jumps in can easily learn it. And yeah, I think even the time we played it, we were able to like get 4 games in one lunch hour. So it's good to be able to, you get to get the better feel of the game and get some good interaction going on.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Great pick. So that was your number 9. My number 9, and I don't have the list in front of me, so we're going to be all surprised together. But my number 9 is Shifting Stones. So I think Shifting Stones, one of the reason I kind of picked this one is it doesn't take a lot of space. It fits on a fairly small table, depending on what you have access to. Now, you guys had a huge conference table, so it was fine. But this one doesn't take a whole lot of space. It is compact, but it's beautiful. It's super pretty. Let me show you. Look, it's beautiful, super pretty. And like those huge tiles are like embossed. So there's like the pattern is embossed into it as well. And it's a fairly simple game to teach because I'm assuming it's kind of open. You might not know the players' level. So this one is kind of fits for everybody, but it's really interesting so that even if you're an avid player, still a lot of fun. And what's interesting with this one is you start with a 9x9 grid of these tiles. They're double-sided, so all of the orange ones, if you flip them over, they're a different color on the other side. And they'll match. So all the orange has the same other color on the other side. And you get cards, and the cards will have a pattern on it and a value point to it. And if you're able to create that pattern somewhere in this 3x3, you can place the card and say, okay, I will score this card because the pattern has been made. But in order to do the pattern, you'll either have to flip a tile or swap a tile with the other side. And I'm showing over here. Nobody can see over here. So you could swap a tile or flip a tile. I don't know why I'm doing it here. But in order to do that, you got to discard a card. So it's kind of comes to like, which card do you sacrifice and which card do you hold on to trying to score? So beautiful game, simple game. It plays fairly quick. And I think if I had a lunch break with people to play, this would be a good fit.
Right on.
So that was my number 9, Shifting Stones. Now we're going to go to number 8, and we're back at you, Matt.
All right. Well, my number 8 pick was Decrypto. How I describe this game is usually it's like a step up of code names,
right?
Type game. So the game is you're basically trying to intercept your other team's code by trying to guess the other team's secret code when they come up. So how it works is that each team will get 4 words, and they'll get numbered 1 to 4. So I guess I gave an example here: radio, internet, and baseball. And then each round, each team's encoder, the one who's kind of making up the clues, they'll draw a 3-digit code and try to give 3 clues, 1 per digit, based on the meaning of their secret code. So like even the example I had in my notes was like, say you have chess, animal, and fruit.
Right.
Well, if you get the numbers like 2, 1, 3, you might give the words like dog, king, and apple. And then your team has to try to associate the words to those clues and be like, okay, well, dog is obviously like animal. So it's like, okay, 2, 1, 3, and then you guess it. The trick, though, then, is that the other team will also try to guess what your numbers are.
Right.
So usually the first one is a bust. But as the game continues, the other team will start collecting all the words for you, too. So, I mean, if you keep going with, like, board, pawn, and everything, they might get those 3 words and be like, oh, I wonder if that word is like chess or something. So they'll be looking for chess words. So because they don't see
the word.
The other team does not see your words,
Okay.
but they'll just get a list of your words. So slowly you're like, the next one, might come out as knight. And you're like, oh, okay, so all these are all chess words. So knight must be under this category then. So that must be number 1,
right,
for whatever example it is. So that's why as the game progresses, you have to be more sneaky in your words. So like you might say mate as one of the words, and you're like, oh, wait, is that animal now, or is that chess? And now you're kind of throwing the other team off on the clues. So yeah, if the other team is able to guess 2 of your code numbers, then they win. But the way to lose also is if you incorrectly guess your own.
Oh, okay,
so that's why you can't be too tricky with the words, because since you know the words, you should be able to get your own code numbers. So if you screw up on your own too, then you can also lose. But we played this once or twice, and yeah, it's a good game because it's one of those ones that actually fits a lot of people.
Right.
If we get a lot of people playing.
Because you need 2 teams.
Yes, you need 2 teams. Yeah. So even like minimum 4.
Right.
But I think even the time we ended up playing it, there was like 10 of us there.
So it worked out well.
It worked out well, and
Right.
even like newcomers, like you don't need to know all the rules yet. You can just sit on a team and follow along and be able to learn and go along. So
this is one that is on my shelf of shame.
Oh, okay.
So I got it because from the concept, I know I'll like it.
Yeah.
But to explain it, be like, no idea what you're saying.
It's also one of those games.
I think it's like you got to play it to
exactly.
get it. So it just hasn't happened for me yet. But I was like, when I saw that on your list, I was like, oh, good. Maybe I'll get some details.
I won't lie. A few times, the first time I had somebody explain to me, I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But like after I played, I was like, oh, this is good. I like this.
All right. So that was his number 8, the Crypto. Wonderful. My number 8, and let's go have a look, is Flip 7. That's our first crossover.
All right.
So Flip 7 is a game that I got recently. I had played it a couple of times. And it's one of those that, any player level, if you've never played a board game, you can play this one. It is simple. And you get invested into it. It's like, okay, you got this thing. Oh, that's like, I got 3 numbers, but it's like 1, 2, and 3. So that's like scores you 6 points. Like it's nothing. Yeah. You're reaching 200, so you got to push. Yeah. Mind you, 1, there's no other card there.
Yeah,
2, there's only 1 more. 3, there's 2 more. Yeah. So it's like, okay, I'll go again. So then you get a 12. And that's better looking, but there's 11 other 12 out there.
Yeah.
So
do you push it?
Okay, I'll push again. Yeah. And they'll play with some people that it's like they can't help themselves. They push.
We go
all the
way, baby. Yeah.
Right? Because I think if you get 7 cards of different numbers, you get a bonus 15 points.
You gotta go. Yeah. Especially when you're only like 1 or 2 away. You gotta push it.
You gotta, And then we're like pushing each other back too. Like, well, you gotta go, Matt. Come on, flip one more, Matt. One more, and then hoping he's gonna bust. So it's one of those that it's entertaining to play. It's entertaining on your turn, but it's entertaining watching other people take their turn as well. So, and quick, easy, great game. Oh, I'm like, got a picture of the game. You already seen it, but that's Flip 7. I think that would fit the bill. And obviously, if Matt says it did, so then I was right. And that's the number 8. So now we're gonna go to Lucky 7, and in number 7 position, Matt.
So my 7 is Citadels. We played it only like once or twice. So let me see if I can remember the rules. I did write some notes here. But it is a card game that is also like a character drafting game along the way. So at the start of each round, you actually get to draft a certain character card, which gives you a different ability to do something. And then on your turn, as you can see with the numbers, it kind of goes in the order that you play. So whoever drafted the assassin gets to do their move first, and then whoever drafted number 2, 3, 4, etc., like that.
Nice.
And then from there, the abilities are things like stopping somebody from doing their ability, or you get to draw a gold and create kind of districts. And your goal is to be able to create 8 districts to be able to win the game. But it's a good game because, I don't know, we really enjoyed it because it was just good interaction. Everybody kind of gets an equal amount of turns. And it's a good, like, social game because you're kind of, a lot of the actions are interacting with each other. It's like, oh, okay, well, they're not good interactions. It's like, yeah, I'm going to block your move right there. But you get to go around and like it changes every time because you get to do a different ability each time.
Right.
This one was good because it did house a lot of people. And it's also a good game because it was also pretty short-ish. We were able to finish within the hour, but it's also has enough crunch to it that like if there's not a new people there, they're able to kind of get a little more game out of game flavor out of it for their lunch hour.
Nice.
So yeah, that's number 7, Citadels.
This is another one that's on my shelf of shame.
Oh, okay.
And then I was craving it, and I kind of was like, I want to play this, and I watched a few tutorials, and it looks amazing.
Yeah.
It just hasn't happened yet because you do need a bit of a group.
Yes.
Right? So good pick. Obviously, my number 7 is Micro Macro Crime City. And what I think with this one is like, yes, over the lunch hour would be good, but this would also be one that'd be good to kind of put up on a poster board somewhere so that anybody in the office could come along and kind of partake, and you're slowly pulling them in, right? Like kind of unexpectedly exposed. It's going to be at Matt's office, right?
It is actually. That's a good idea. I was like, oh yeah, that's a good idea.
Because this is basically, you have this big map, and it's like all these doodles, and there's a bunch of different scenarios. You could just like change the scenario every week, right? Like put a new scenario every week. And you take the first card, and it'll have a character, and it says, go find this person. And you're going to look all over the map and find, okay, there he is. And then you got to follow along because he's over here, but then you go down the street, he's over here, and then you go down the street, it's oh my God, he's dead. Yeah. What happened? So you're trying to solve the crime, and it's cartoony and friendly, honestly. Like, it's not gruesome at all. It's all like animal cartoons, and you're just trying to solve the mystery of what happened, following its path on this map. And it's so cool. Like, honestly, I played this with my kid and my spouse, and my kids are reluctant gamers, and then we got playing, and my son was like, okay, one more. Okay, let's do one more. And then we're searching. So it's one of those that is easy to get really into it.
Yes.
So I just think if you set that up on the table, you could all play it, or even if you just kind of have it available somewhere, it would be really easy for anybody walking by to kind of get involved as well. So that was my pick for my number 7, Micro Macro. And then there's 3 versions of this one now.
They put out a few, and then actually I think you mentioned it is sort of like cartoony, but there was a few actually. The story gets a little kind of dark, and I was like, because I think one of them actually has like a hooker in it or something. So I was like, but they do have a kid-friendly version. I think they put out recently.
Well, then there was one that I saw, and I can't really something park, but it's like a 3D kid-friendly one.
Oh, okay.
And they had it at Dollarama actually, $5.
Oh, yes.
So
that's one. Yeah.
I picked it up, but it was a prize at Malcon's. I didn't get to play it, but I have to pick it up again because it just like adds the dimension, and it's a kind of just a little bit. Story's a little family friendly. Yeah. My kids all over, 18, my boys, but so I'm not concerned. They've been tainted already. All right, so that was our number 7, and we're going to go to our number 6.
All right, number 6. For me, it's Sea Salt and Paper.
Nice.
So yeah, this is like I think it's a good card game essentially, with card management. How I describe this one, it's weird because how I describe games is usually compared to other games. But how I compare this game is almost like a mixture of like Exploding Kittens and Sushi Go.
Right, yeah, I can see that.
It is, yeah. So there's like a deck of cards in front of you, and then it's pretty simple because on your turn, you can either draw from 2 cards from the top of the card pile. You choose one and you put the other one in discard, or you get to take the top card of the discard pile. And then from there, you're trying to build sets and pairs to basically get points. So the pairs you get end up giving you abilities to do things. So if you even in this one, you can see in the picture, if you get the shark and the swimmer, you play those 2 cards and you're able to take a card from another person. And
nice.
I think if you get 2 fish, you're able to go through the discard pile and take any card you want.
Nice.
And then from there, though, there's also other cards that you're trying to collect sets of. So there's I think the clams, and of course if you get 1 clam, it's worth 0 points. But if you get 2 clams, that's 3, and if you get 3, it's 6, and etc. etc.
And there's the mermaid.
And then there's the mermaid, of course. So if you get the mermaid, you get to score points based on how many of the most color you have in your hand. And then actually, if you get all 4 mermaids, you instantly win the game. It's an instant win.
Has that ever happened for you?
It hasn't happened to me, but Carla beat me at one time because she got all 4 cards. It was funny because she was like, "Oh, look at that! I just got all 4." And I was like, "Oh, well."
And I was building something.
And I was doing something so good too. But it's kind of interesting because also at the end, how do you end up scoring is you have to have a minimum of 7 points, and then you could either say stop, which then stops right there and everybody scores whatever you got, or you can say last chance, which is the riskier one because everybody else gets 1 more turn, and then whoever ends up having the most points gets to score theirs, and everybody else doesn't score anything except for the mermaid.
Right.
So it's up to you if you really want to take the risk or not to be able to do that.
That is such an interesting and kind of unique to this game.
Yeah.
You decide when you're in.
Yeah.
If you think you're in the lead, okay.
And how much in the lead, yeah.
But because you could be stop and everybody scores.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, well, I think I'm doing really good. So we're going to last round and then we get the 4th mermaid.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, how we ended up getting introduced to this game is actually, so I think we've mentioned this before too, but we have an event here at Edmonton called this Corporate Challenge.
Okay.
And it's basically a bunch of different companies around Edmonton get to compete in different events like softball, bowling, pool.
Fun,
and then one of the events is actually board games.
Oh, fun.
Yes.
I love that.
So this was actually one of the games for this year. So yeah, we ended up picking it up and bringing it into the group. And again, it was pretty easy to teach to everybody.
Yeah.
And it was just it has enough crunch that it gets people into it, but it's also beginner friendly that everybody kind of just likes it. So it's become a favorite in the board game group. But yeah, solid game for lunch hour, finished within the hour, and that's Sea Salt and Paper.
Sea Salt and Paper, great pick. All right, my number 6 is Bum Busters. So I got this game a little while ago. I've only played it once now, for the first time at Malcon a couple weeks ago now. And I was so impressed with it. Now, it has a bit of a Hanabi feel to it, like the firework game, but I hate Hanabi. And the reason for why is my memory sucks. So with Hanabi, if you tell me this card is blue, then by the time it's okay, which card? Darn it, what color did they say? It's instant out of my mind. With this one, you have a little tray that holds it organized, and you can be okay, and they're numerical. You know it's from high to low. You see your own. You don't see the others. So there's that's a little bit. But as things get revealed, they flip them, and you can start seeing the other players. And what's happening is we all have wires that goes high to low from anywhere, I think it's up to 12.
Yeah.
So anywhere from 1 to 12 or something. And we want to cut the wires. In order to cut the wires, you got to say, Matt, I think this one is a 6. And I can only say that if I myself have a 6, because you're cutting them in pair. And if he says, yes, it's a 6, great. We both flip them over and we've cut the wire. Now, there is a red wire out there. We don't know where. But you cut that red wire, everything blows up and we're all dead. So you're trying to defuse the bomb. And there'll be some cards will have some special abilities because you could be like, okay, is this a 6 or a 7 if you use the ability? So it kind of makes it a little easier, and you're trying to get all the wires cut without. But now, if you got like, okay, this one is shown it's a 6, this one is shown as a 7. There's one in between, but the other 6 and 7 has already been revealed. You're not cutting that one, right? Like but it's deduction.
Yeah.
So you're trying to piece together, okay, well, if that's there and then that's there, and these numbers are here, so in between here should be, so it's kind of a neat, thinky, cooperative game. Like I said, I've only played it the one time. There's different level of difficulties to it, so you can kind of ramp it up as you go. But I thought it was so fun. I was really impressed with it. So that is my number 6, Busters.
It's a good choice. That's a good one. Yeah.
Perfect. So now we're number 5, halfway through.
All right. So my number 5 is The Gang.
Nice.
And as actually, I was about to say, yeah, exactly how I describe it is exactly what it says on the box. It's basically cooperative poker to the game. So if anyone's ever played Texas Hold'em, that's exactly kind of how the game works in a more cooperative stance. So in Texas Hold'em, how it is you get 2 cards, and then you bet on your cards, and then whoever's still in the game, they flip over 3 cards, the flop, I think is what it's called, and then you try to make the best hand you can out of all the cards. So once you get the flop down, you bet again, and then they flip over 1 more. You bet again, and then you flip over the last one, bet again, and you kind of all compare hands, and whoever can make the best 5-card hand out of all 7 cards wins the game. But in the gang, rather than betting at all those points, what you guys have to do is then rank your cards and see who has the best hand out of everybody. Without actually showing or revealing what cards you have in your hand.
You can't discuss what you have.
Yeah, you can't discuss at all. All you have to do is you have poker chips that have stars on them, and then whoever thinks they have the best hand takes the one with the most stars, and whoever thinks they have the worst hand takes the one with the lowest amount of stars, which is 1. And then you kind of keep doing that, and as cards flip along, you're like, oh, my hand kind of got better. I made a pair, or I have a pair in my hands already, but now I've made like the 3 of a kind. So you grab up, and you have to try to deduce based on what everybody else is grabbing, how you think their hands are doing. So the point of the game is that you're supposed to open up 3 vaults. So you have to win 3 pairs of hands. So if you're able to succeed 3 times, then you win the game. But if you lose 3 times, then you lose the game. But the twist to this also is that if you win one of the rounds, you then have to get a challenge card,
right,
which then hinders your next round. So then, like, I think there's things like, you have to skip one of the ranking phases, or I think one of them was like, if whoever has like the highest hand has to like discard their cards or something halfway through, and then they have to get new hands, and you have to like rank again. So that adds the extra challenge as you go along. But on the flip side, if you lose a round, you actually get a specialist card, which then gives you how abilities to help you the next round. So one of them is like, one person gets to reveal a card in their hand at any time in the game or something, and that helps you kind of win the next round. But this one is like a good one because it's easy to teach for anyone who knows how to play poker, and it's also a cooperative game, which I find like kind of brings more people in because they feel like it's less competitive.
Right, it's less punishing.
It's less punishing, and like people are more open when they're how we can help each other out through the game and give each other strategies.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've played this a few times. It's been a fan favorite, and we've it hits the table a lot whenever.
It's funny because the first time I heard of the game, it's cooperative poker. I'm like,
how does that work?
How's that gonna work?
Exactly.
It just doesn't seem like it would fit, but it works so well.
It
and
does.
it's so interesting because it'd be like, okay, yeah, no, I've got the worst, and then someone's like,
yeah.
I've got the worst. I'm like, oh, okay, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh no, I got pretty good, and they're going up. Then what did you're just trying to figure out from what they're trying to grab.
Yeah.
Like you were like you had the worst.
Yeah.
Now you're trying to go first. Like
which card did you get? Yeah.
Like
exactly.
it is like. So
yeah.
It's interesting, right?
And you also learn a little bit about poker because I think even a few times we played it, somebody had like a 2 pair, but I guess based on the ranking scale, like 2 pairs like is near the bottom of like say a royal flush. but the World Flush doesn't happen often. So somebody
and
was
depending on what's on the table,
Yeah.
like do the cards
Exactly.
even more, like so yeah.
Exactly.
It makes you honestly playing this one makes you a better poker player.
yes. Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, great pick. That was
Yeah. So that's the gang.
the gang, number 5. So my number 5 is Super Mega Lucky Box. And I think this one is bingo. Like Super Mega Lucky Boxes, you are playing bingo. You flip a card, it's a 3. Okay, everybody got a 3, and you got your couple of bingo cards, and you're gonna take your dry erase marker and you mark out a 3. It's like it's the most crowd pleasing. Everybody understands bingo, but what you're trying to do is when you have a row or a column that fills out, you get that special bonus that's attached to it. Could be another number. It's like, oh, I just unlocked a 4, so I could go cross off another 4 somewhere. Or maybe you get the moons, or maybe you get like the little power bolts, or maybe you get the star, which are worth points. And so it's bingo plus plus. Now the first time you look at it, like the game, like the colors, the bright, it looks like a 70s show game, right?
Yeah.
Like on TV, or playing Price is Right or whatever. But I played it with my family, and they're like, "Oh, fine, we're playing games." But you get into it, and any skill level, like I've played with people, like if you can recognize numbers, you're good to go, right? Like so, it's one that just, I think, would just appeal to the masses just for what it is. Like it's so basic, everybody has an understanding of this, and it's just easy. But then it adds enough that it makes it fun. So, and then you're all crossing the same number, but it's like, I have no 3. It's just one of those games that I think is just a crowd pleaser, and that is my number 5 Super Mega Lucky Box.
Oh, that looks good. I might have to pull that out actually for our group. Yeah.
All right, so now we're on to number 4, and again, Matt.
So my number 4 is spots. So I'll throw this out there again. Again, I wasn't a huge fan. I'm not a huge fan of push your luck games, but this one actually I like. Oh, after I played, I was like, this is actually a good game. I like this game. But it's a light push your luck game. And what it is that you get a bunch of dogs. And I like how their slogan is because like, oh, dogs have spots, dice have spots. Let's try to put them together and everything. So what it is you have to roll dice, and you have to try to match up the spots that are on the dogs that you have in front of you. So one of the dogs might have, like a 2 spot, 1 spot, and a 5 spot, like in the picture.
Right.
And you have to try to roll the 1, 2, and 5 to be able to put them on your dog. If you roll any dice and you're unable to put them onto the dog, you then put it into the dog house, which is cute. And then if you have more than 7 spots in the doghouse, so it's not an amount of how many dice you have in there, but how many spots you have.
So you don't want to put like a big one.
Yeah. So if you get a 6 and you can't put it anywhere, and you put it in the doghouse, you're like, oh, okay, this is getting pretty tight now. Then if you bust over that, then any dog that you have not locked in, you have to remove the dice from them and have to start again.
Oh, okay.
But how I like this one is kind of fun is because it also, at the start of each turn, they have trick cards as well. And trick cards are kind of from a pool of cards in the center that you're able to basically gives you an ability to roll dice. So one of them is like, oh, you get to take 1 dice out of your the doghouse and get to roll it again and try it out from there. Or you get to like grab 2 or 3 dice. You get to grab an extra dice to be able to roll from there. And then you then try to lock in all of your dice, all of your dogs, and whoever gets all 6 dogs end up winning the game. But it's super cute. Again, I wasn't a huge push your luck kind of fan. I remember when Chris brought the game, I was like, oh, it's a push your luck game. I hate push your luck game.
Yeah, there's 2 on his list so far.
Yeah, I know. I realized. But I was like, all right, we'll give it a try. And I was like, okay, this is one I'm gonna have to pick up. Actually, this is a really good game.
I had heard of it, but I had never played it, so I didn't know how it played. I gotta say, just looking at the image there, I love the oversized fat dogs on here. It looks so.
It's so cute
fun.
too. Yeah.
And the little bones.
Yes. It's just it's an adorable game, and it's it fits the theme. It's just well done, and I was like, yeah, all right, this is fun for a push your luck game. And that's spots.
Was number 4 spots. Wonderful. So my number 4 is fun facts. And what I think I would be fun with this is like, because you get your coworkers, and you know your coworkers, they're acquaintance, right? Like most of the time, you don't know a whole lot about them. Now, same goes with your board game friends. I was talking with Kayla the other day, and she was telling me that she took art in university, and I was like, really? So
Okay.
we should talk. It's like about other things than board games, really. But
Weird.
this one here is you get a question, and it could be anything like, how many push-ups do you think you can make? So everything is a number. Like your answer is going to be a number. Be like, I don't know. I put half. But, so and then you put it out there and you put it down, so you see the names, you don't see their number, but you got to try to get it in order from least to most. Okay, well, what would Melanie have said, or what would have Matt have said? So it's really interesting. Like you kind of discover a little bit about your friend or how they think about themselves or whatever, right? Or it's like, how much money would you need to win at the lottery before you would quit your job? Million probably would do it, right? Like, but it's like, so you would put that in it, but it's just trying to figure out, let's put it in order, what would people say, and then you flip it up, and then, do I really have to push up everything? So it's just like, it's a party game, obviously. It's a party game, but I think just playing with people that you don't necessarily know really well would be really you don't know. It was like, how many pairs of shoes do you own? I bet you Matt has like at least a dozen. Yeah. Like, so we'll put him up there. It's like, so it's just one of those things that I think would be fun. Mostly like, I mean, it would be fun playing with family that you know well as well, right? Yeah. Like, how well do you really know each other? Yeah. So I think it would fit those different situations, but fun facts. So that is.
Oh, that's a good one.
My number 4.
Oh, yeah.
All right, on to number 3.
Yeah. Number 3, crossover, Bomb Busters.
Nice.
So we played this a bunch of times in our group, and kind of like what you're saying, it's about cutting wires, trying to make pairs and everything. So we played it a bunch of times. It's a legacy game, which I never realized until afterwards.
I guess, right?
Yeah. Because of all the missions, but it was interesting because after a few sets too, there's actually even one time there was a sticker actually that came out. It's like, oh, put this sticker in the rule book, and now this is an official rule of the game. And we were like, oh, this is interesting. But yeah, like you said, as the game goes on, you actually get more of the wires, and actually get yellow wires at one point. I don't think you get them at the start, but you get extra wires that also kind of get slotted in between certain gaps. So it's like you were kind of saying, where you're like, okay, well, this is a 6 and this is a 7. There's one wire in between, but now wait, is this a yellow wire or is this a red wire? And now you're like, do I take the risk of cutting it or do I not cut it? And then, as you go along too, you also get more cards and you get extra abilities to work with stuff. We brought this out a bunch of times, and actually, I think we've played like maybe 15 to 20 missions to the group already. Wow. And it's such an easy game to teach because I'm pretty sure it's different. It's been different people coming in and out every time we kind of played that game, and it's just so easy to teach, lay out the stuff. And then it's like, since, again, a cooperative game, it's easy to give tips to each other. And it's like, okay, yes, what you're trying to do is try to guess which one of these wires, and these clues. So maybe try to, focus on this area and try to go from here. But yeah, it's a fun legacy game, easy to play, and it's just so cute to play. And we've been able to get a lot of people into that one.
Wonderful.
So that's Bomb Busters.
Nice. All right, my number 3 is Wandering Towers. So we've played this one a couple of times at Malcon. And I think as a group setting, it's an interesting game. Now, the way that it works is you have all the towers, and this is a picture from Malcon, but you have all the towers you start with one tower along the thing, and you start with your wizards kind of on top of those towers. And you're going to be playing 2 cards on your round. And you can either move your wizards, and you're going to move them along, and you're trying to reach the black tower and put them in there, or you can move the tower. And if you move a tower and you cover some wizards, well, that fills up one of your potion bottles, which is a second winning condition. You got to fill up all your potion bottles and get all your wizards in the black tower. But as the towers get covering wizards, you got to remember where they are. And I never do. So be like, okay, so I'm gonna move the tower, and it's 3 high. Now, when you move the tower, you get to decide from what level you want to move. So I'm gonna grab him from the 2, and I'm moving the tower 2. Oh, I'm not there. Where am I? So there's that memory aspect as well. And also sometimes like, oh great, I need to go 3, but this is only going to move me 2, so I'm not making it in the black tower. But then every time a wizard makes it in the black tower, that black tower relocates to the next shield spot, the spot that has a shield. It's like, oh, I was about to go in. What did you do? So, and then it's just a neat, interesting game. And that memory aspect is like, it's like, oh, I was there. It's like I was in another tower. So the whole thing is very interesting. It's a lot of fun. It's simple. It's very simple. You move the towers, you move the wizard to try to get in the box, right? Like, but it gets tricky. So that is my number 3, Wandering Towers.
I've never played this one yet, but yeah, I've heard a lot of people talk about it. That, yeah. Sounds good. We might have to pull that out for a group.
Yeah. All right, so we're at number 2 now.
All right, so my number 2 is Gnar. Is it Gnar or Kanar?
Gnar.
I think it's Gnar. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think so. Yeah.
So it's sort of Gnar is like a set collection engine building type game where you're trying to lead create a Viking crew and trying to score 40 points at the end of the day. So on your turn, you get have like some Viking cards in front of you, and they're all kind of set out with different colors and symbols on them. And then on your turn, you can either add a Viking to kind of your set in front of you in your tableau, and then collect whatever they have on them, as well as you get to collect another Viking in that group that's under that set in the color thing, or you get to kind of collect certain. Add up all the Vikings together, and then you're able to buy essentially like land or other things as well. And then, you're basically trying to build up to get 40 points by collecting certain bracelets, collecting certain items, and then make your way up there. So how I was introduced to Gnar was actually, it was one of the games for Corporate Challenge last year.
Yeah.
And it was introduced to our board game group, and I ended up getting it at one point. And yeah, I don't know. It's such a good game that it has enough crunch for the lunch hour that last time I think we ended up playing it, we were able to finish it within the hour. But it was also because we all knew how to play it.
Yeah.
I think the first time we tried to learn it, it did take we weren't able to finish a game at first. But for all the people who do enjoy board games and the veteran board games who come to our group, it's a really solid game. It has makes a lot of crunchy decisions along the way because it's also an engine building. And I remember even a lot of times when I'm playing, I was like, oh, do I grab that card that's going to give me 5 points right away, or do I spend the next 3 turns to build an engine to get me 1 point every turn going forwards? But I'm like, am I going to make it over those 3 turns to get it? Is someone going to steal the cards I need, or should I just be safe and just take the 5 and hope for the best as we go along?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's such a great game. It's so it's beautiful to look at, and it's a good lunchtime one.
Every game of Gnar I have played, I have the lead early on and I lost. And the thing is, because like you're saying, you're engine building, but to buy the part cards, you gotta kind of destroy your engine.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, and I'm like for immediate gratification. So I'm giving them all up, and I'm getting all these points, and I'm in the lead, and it looks good. But now they all have these huge engines, and they get all of these things, and I'm like, I'm down to 2 cards. It's like, oh no, mistakes were made again. So, but it has very interesting decisions for sure. So great pick, and that was Gnar, number 2. My number 2 is Wits and Wagers. And I think this one is a fun one. Now, a lot of people enjoy trivia games, so I hear. I don't enjoy trivia games. If you want to test me on my knowledge is not great on anything. Or my memory, so I'm not going to remember the answers of what my knowledge used to be or whatever, right? But with Wits and Wagers, what is interesting is, yes, it's a trivia game, but it's another one of those where you're going to have a number as the answer. How much did the largest ostrich egg in the world weigh? I don't know. So you're all in pounds or whatever, right? So I don't know, like 3 pounds. Somebody puts 25 pounds. 5-pound egg, like I don't. But so you all put the answers, and then you put them in order from high to low. But now we bid on who we think has the correct answer. Because like I was talking, like I have no idea. I'm like 20 pounds away from everybody else. I'm not bidding on my answer. I know I'm wrong at this point, so I'm gonna bid here. But then whoever's closest to the correct answer gets a point from maybe I was right all along. We all bid incorrectly. So you get points for being the closest to the actual answer, but you get points for where you bid on who you thought would be correct as well. And maybe you think you're right, but then you see all the answers like, I'm like nowhere near anybody else. So maybe I'm like way off, right?
Yeah.
But it's a really neat game. I played this one with my family and friends' family and their children, and their son loved it so much. Like we played it all evening long. But any size group, like it really, like it'll play a high number.
Yeah.
And the questions are interesting, and it's just a fun one. So
Yeah.
that's my number 2, Wits and Wagers.
That's a solid one. Yeah.
Perfect. So now we're at our number 1.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, guessing here, but Matt knows. So, because he actually plays game on his lunch hour. Which one is the number 1?
All right. So our number 1 pick is Blood on the Clock Tower. So what Blood on the Clock Tower is it's like, again, comparing to other games, it's like Werewolf or Mafia. It's one of those social kind of deduction games where you get to try to figure out what everybody's abilities are. But I don't know, this one is really good because it's almost like a step up from all those like Werewolf and Mafia games, because everybody's abilities, everyone, Secret Role also comes with an ability as well. But all the abilities work with and against a bunch of other abilities throughout the game, which what makes it like an extra step in like the deduction side.
Fun.
So like even for example, one of our previous games, somebody was like the Slayer, and then their ability was they can, once in the game, they're able to like basically execute somebody in daylight. So yeah, it's kind of one of those like werewolf games where it's like,
Right.
you do the discussion, you vote to see if you want to kill somebody. If not, you guys go to sleep, and then the bad guy, the demon, can possibly kill somebody, and then you wake up and kind of go along like that. But like in the Slayer had the ability to like execute somebody broad daylight, and if they get the demon, yay for the good guys. But then there's also like the ability called the Drunk, where somebody drunk. So the thing is, somebody could also be the drunk, but they don't know they're the drunk, so they might actually end up not being able to do their ability. So the Slayer actually ended up shooting somebody, and they're like, yeah, that didn't do anybody. You just shot like a townsperson. And they're like, oh man. But then afterwards, it turns out that they were the drunk, so their Slayer ability didn't even work at all, and they just shot somebody for no reason. But that's exactly how the game works, because like a few times, even throughout the game, you're like, oh my, I'm able to detect like out of you 3, what of you is the demons, and then at that point, the person who says like they're the demon might actually, their ability might be that they register as a demon half the time. So you're like, wait a minute, but maybe you're not the demon this time around, so we have to do it again next time to figure out if you are the demon. And then like, but then this person can actually like negate this other person's ability, and then so it's like you're going basically working around in a loop of like deduction. You're kind of like, wait, but if you are this person, then that means you're not this person, but then that means this person is this person, and then you can't do it that way. And it's like, it's crazy because like, yeah, it's just a step up from like Mafia and Werewolf. But this is a great game for a lunch hour because it actually houses a lot of people. It's like, I think 6 and up. And every time we've had more than 6 people come to board games, we've always kind of whipped this one out. It's such a great game. A lot of like interactions throughout. And again, if there's somebody who's new, that's fine too, because they get a roll and then they might sit back quietly, which also adds to the game because you're like, wait, are you quiet because you want us to know your ability, or are you being quiet because you don't know the rules, kind of thing? So that you're kind of drawing them in at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great game. We played it a bunch of times, and yeah, that's Blood on the Clock Tower.
Nice. Yeah, I've never played this one, but I hear great things, and it looks so good. Because like the box becomes the book that you play from, or
Yeah, so there is a storyteller, but there's also an app. So we've just kind of we've like just played on the app as well because it's just easier. And yeah,
for sure. So that was your number one. So my number one is I don't remember. So let's go see. Unscrewed.
Oh,
And Unscrewed is kind of neat because we're in Edmonton here. Unscrewed is a locally designed game as well, and it just came out at Kickstarter. We're at RPGathon here, and it is available to purchase on site at this event. This weekend and next weekend. So, and what's neat with Unscrewed is it plays quick. 15 minutes, 30 minutes tops, you get a game in, and okay, again. And it's just a really interesting game. So we're all different cartoons. Like we all characters from our cartoon. And the network is dropping all but one of them. So the only way to decide which cartoon stays on is a battle to the death. And cartoon style. So we're trying to survive against each other, but against the board as well, because each round the board shrinks. Or if you ever fall out of the board, you're dead. Or if you ever go into a fan, well, now it's splash, depending on which way the fan blows, a row of blood splatter, which is slick. So if you ever land on a blood splatter, you keep sliding through. So there's a whole lot of different chaotic, fun, stupid aspect to this game, right? But it's also a programming game. So you're going to pick 3 cards, and then you flip over. Okay, I'm moving north once. And, okay, so you go north. And then your next person goes like, well, they went west, and they end up pushing into you. It's like, oh, no, that messes up the rest of my program now. And now I'm pushed over west, but then I went on the blood splatter, so I keep sliding. So I'm now 2 space west. And my next card is to go south, and I was just going to come back. But now I'm going into a bomb, or different things. Like there's so much going on with it, but it's so fun. Artwork is amazing. Actually, I think it was like the artist is a cartoon animator or whatever. So everything about this game is fun and chaotic. And I think in like a quick setting, we don't have a lot of time. Okay, quick, let's go, and it's satisfying. So that is my number one, and that is Unscrewed.
I remember we played because I think I played tested this with you one time too, and I remember like playing it, and I was like, it was so much fun, but it was also one of those games where I was like, I literally didn't make it past my first card every time we played because I was like, oh yeah, I got this sweet plan, and I moved left, and all of a sudden like everybody moved into me, and like all of a sudden I like fell off, and I was like, what? Or it's like, all right, I'm gonna move south to be safe, and then now just somebody did something now, and Advil fell on me, and I'm like, but I wasn't even close to any of you guys. How did this work?
It's very like. I don't know, like you're at the mercy of everything.
It's crazy, yes.
Yeah. What's kind of cool as well is if you are eliminated, it is an elimination game. Yeah. You can respawn. Like there will be some circumstances that will cause you to respawn and you're back in the game. And it's kind of nice when you're back in the game last round. Oh, I respawn. I'm going to respawn right here, and then you died.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's chaotic, and I love that about this game. So that was my number one. So that was our top 9 list for games to play over your lunch break. So if anybody out there is like, I'd like to start that, any tips?
Yeah, I guess a few things like invite people, make it consistent. Try to choose a good lunch hour that like kind of works for everybody. And then as well as like, there's a few times too, I know we've tried to like put it on too many times, and it's like, okay, now people are getting kind of tired of it. So like find the right balance to get people to come and everything like that. But yeah, quick and easy games that are easy to introduce, and invite all your friends at lunch. Like you said, that's where you can learn about people too, and get to be social, and
Nice. Yeah. Well, thanks so much for joining me, Matt.
Yeah.
So we're going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Bye.